Here is a System 11C, came out of a Dyner MPU. So what we've done on this is J17, so the power input header. Replaced C30, C29, C26, and C24, so the reset capacitor as well as the power input filter capacitors. A total of 5 sockets, and then CR1, and added NVRAM here to the board. So the board came in, and basically we were getting a U25 error. I originally, whenever I put it onto the bench, I had this thing running for probably about an hour, maybe 2 hours, and I didn't have any issues. But as soon as I turned it off and turned it back on, I did get that U25 error. And so I was just doing some power cycling, and it came back with a U51 error as well as a U27 error. And having this thing on the bench, letting it run, whenever it would boot, the displays would cut out as well as, everything else. So that told me that obviously blanking was going out on it. Was going low was the word I was looking for. And so what I did is I went ahead and pulled U51. I did test it with Leon's test ROM. The outputs were testing good. Obviously, with blanking going low, I wanted to make sure 100% that U51 was good, just because that is where the blanking actually originates. So I pulled U51, put that into my Neolock tester, tested that about 4 or 5 times, and it came back good every time. And then it struck me that, obviously the oscillator, the oscillator going bad can throw a U25 ROM, but it just threw me off with throwing the U51 as well as the U27 error. Anyways, I did test pin, I believe 39 here of the CPU, and every time we booted, we would get a total of 4 millihertz from the clock signal. But whenever we wouldn't boot and we would get, one of the errors that it would throw, we were getting anywhere between 3 and 3.4 millihertz. So obviously I knew that at that point it was the clock, so I went ahead and replaced that, and we've been good to go since. As well as, part of the rehab, we went ahead and pulled the original 6802 socket, both of the the game ROM sockets, as well as installed NVRAM. We've got a new power input header here on the board as well, and go ahead and get this thing powered up. And obviously no pinballs in the game. And there we are with the last game played and high score to date. And we've got the lamp matrix dancing here, as well as the AC relay select that is coming on, probably searching for a ball. And go into test report. So we can't move the wheel because I don't have a motor attached to this board, nor a wheel for it to move if I did. But that's totally normal being on the bench. And so going through music, and this is all coming off of my soundboard here, but just showing that everything is interfacing correctly with the CPU. And into display test. And I'll go ahead and shut off my overhead LED because I know it's going to affect this upcoming portion of the display test. Always makes it look like it's flickering whenever it's not. And this here. And so we are 100% there. Into the sound test. And again, all that's just coming off of my soundboard there. And all lamps into single lamps. And again, that's just from the LEDs. That's not actually lighting a whole nother section there. It's just the behavior of the LEDs, unfortunately. And so this is testing both A side and C side, and then into just the standard 8 and into the special solenoids. And I missed that first one. I'll have to let that go back through. Make sure I didn't pull any wires or anything either. So these, again, these are just the multiplex coils, so A side and then C side of each coil there. And we're looking, yep, there we are on the first. So these are all being computer driven. And then again, these are all switch driven as well. These are the special solenoids, so like the slingshots, pop bumpers, stuff like that. And moving into the switch edges, we're going through diagonally, testing both rows and columns. And the last switch in Dyner is switch 59. And obviously the AC relay select is working. And we won't test the wheel because obviously, again, we don't have that installed on the bench. And going through the rest of the audits, we'll go ahead and reboot the game. And I've got this set up to free play, so no credits are needed or anything here to start a game. And we're 100%, so thank you so much.